Hello, everyone, and welcome to Essentials.tf for the start of our Premiership qualifier coverage for the Spring 2024 season. And in old money for anyone who's been around for a while, that's season 47, the older ones in the room. We're here, we've got 4 teams budding to make their way into Premiership, joining the 6 teams that have already been decided so far. My name is Ben Plue, we've got Dr. Underscore on production, and we've got Dumtum joining us here on this fine day. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Yeah, should be a fun time. Like we discussed earlier, it's been a while since some games have been played in 6v6. There was a long off season, but I guess midway through March is as good a time as any to start now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's been quite a while. I'd say, I think it was early December that we had playoffs for last season. Obviously, there's been other game modes in between, like with B-Ball and Highlander and stuff. And then there's also been the Poland LAN, which was also on Essentials as well. But yeah, good to be back in with some online ETF2L action. And yeah, got some pretty big games for these teams, right, coming in. The qualifier is always a couple of games that decides the entirety of your season, right? Are you playing in Prem, are you playing in Div 1, are you going to disband before the season starts? Anything can happen.
Certainly so, and the admin's very, I think, deliberately split up 2 of these teams from playing each other any sooner than next round, I suppose. Probably for good reason as well. We'll have Alien Workshop and Nandom tonight, and I would like to imagine Nandom is the team, one of the teams with the highest expectations here to make it. They with a slightly different roster, of course. Dominated most of last season in Div 1, but fell short in Grand Finals. And now, I guess, as good a time as any to make sure that the record gets set straight here and they can get the rematch, I guess, in Premiership against the Poles. Yeah,
absolutely. And yeah, I've got to mention, we can hold a bit on the roster over on this Nandem side because, yeah, like you say, there's a couple of players different. They've actually picked up a couple of players from, I believe, disbanding Varmkov Boogie side. They picked up Hugie and Aaron Trier, which is 2 pretty big pickups in my opinion, in particular, picking that experience. They came 5th in Prem last season. There's definitely worse pickups you can be getting, and yeah, see how they mesh in with the rest of the team, because like you say, the rest of that core last season, they went 14-0 in league play and looked really dominant up until that final against Global Yeti, where it just sort of fell apart on the day.
Yeah, and I mean, on the flip side, right, the Varmkov Boogie guys for themselves went into the last season as underdogs in Premiership and did, I would say, exceptionally well considering the circumstances, right? You have the sort of last seeded team with most people's expectations in Premiership. There's not high expectations on them, but they did a close fight with most everyone. So for standout performances here, as far as debuts are concerned, those guys have given people a run for their money, and now they want to get back in Premiership, have good faith with this roster. I believe a lot of these guys play Highlander with one another as well. Also at fairly high level, I think first in the past season, and then this recent season they got 2nd or 3rd or something like that. Still pretty good. So all around, I mean, they can play well, they can play with one another. High expectations on them here. A bit of a different story in Alien Workshop, where it's obviously good players, sure, but different expectations, I would imagine. They probably do want to see if they have an honest shot at it, but I would imagine they're a lot less mad than their opponents if they were to not make it. That said, they still want to give people a run for money here. They basically only lost 2 games last season. They tied everything else. Unfortunately, Nandem was one of those games.
Yeah, they've sort of been the last couple of seasons, they've sort of been middle of the pack, haven't they, in kind of Div 1, but had a couple of roster changes around there. So picking up Sneaky over from, I believe it was that Havoc that Sneaky was on last season in Prem. Not had the great season as a team, but I think Sneaky played it very, very well coming into Pocket Scout. I think it was flanked last season, so going to be hoping to build a team around that. And yeah, they always turned to the LAN as well with this roster and had a decent showing, actually. I think they came 7th, 8th, which in a LAN stacked with lots of Prem teams, getting into those last 8 is a pretty big achievement for this team.
Yeah, okay, I just got a Steam message from Lucky asking, can we go? So I told him yes, so the game will be starting in approximately 2 minutes, chat, don't worry. Everyone just getting themselves prepared here, but it looks like the players are keen, and I can't blame them. This will be the first official in a while. They had plenty of time to practice and sort it also, like we said. These changes should be interesting to see how they will perform here as well. I mean, even then, I've seen Justy around and sort of, but not a ton, so certainly will be interesting to see how that goes on the all now mains position here in this spot as well. We'll be very curious to see how this goes maps-wise. Who knows? It's a fairly safe map selection tonight, I suppose.
Yeah, Nandem are going to be picking up Process in the as their first pick in this best of 3, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of see exactly why they did that, because in their preparations at the end of last season and also in Poland, they looked really, really good on this map. I'm not sure quite what it was about it, but they were picking up some really, really good results and just cleaning up plenty of teams on it. So it seems like a comfort pick, and I guess it's a comfort pick for a lot of teams. Everyone's played it a million times, so yeah, nothing too wild. The 2 cost maps banned out very, very early, and then I'm going to go Snake after this, and then Sunshine if required. But yeah, first up Process.
yeah, the standard battlefield of TF2, so to speak, here as well. Makes for a good first pick, makes for an even better last pick, I guess, as well, right? It just all comes down to the map most played, I suppose, in some scenarios. But now both teams going to make it through here, and I'm very curious to see what these rosters have in store for us as well. High expectations for me on Random. I've seen these people do well before, and there's some up-and-comer stories here as well, right? There's a lot of people we know, of course. I think the probably least familiar name to people watching mostly just high-level TF2 is probably Luca. Anyone who's watched anything below Prem should be well familiar with the name. And if you watched Holland, I guess, as well, I suppose as well. But yeah, towards 6 last season, really the strongest performance yet, and maybe there's still more to come from the guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the teams are ready up. We're only about 20 minutes late, so we're going to get the game going, get these qualifiers underway. We've got Nandem, we've got Alien Workshop, and we have Process for our first map. Let's see what they have to offer.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe someone will go fast on this map. Sometimes it does happen, but sometimes you just rather want to play it safe here as both teams flying into mid-north if there's anything too aggressive just yet. Doublemans arrive as well here at very different speeds. Tavi taking the slow approach here in the end, but there's the bombs coming through. Both teams looking to see anything go down from these ones onto the Doubleman. Get blank in the crossfire here. Tavi with a nice pipe just to shut down the soldier, and they're already chasing down the last few picks. They lost Lucky. They want any blood of their own here on the other side.
Yeah, absolutely. They're charging in so deep. Massive double bomb there in onto Luca. And they're getting chased all the way out to spawn. The two scouts smell blood and they're charging even further in Phoenix just to stay alive, get that medic out to spawn. But look at all that ground that was taken. But like you say, it's not going to matter because Uber is going to be coming up far faster for this red side.
Yeah, that's going to make a huge difference here. Getting away from Border on the lucky kill at the beginning of the mid-fight is huge for them because Chur lost mid-control here a little bit, but look at that. They don't have heals. They don't even have the second scout anymore, so easiest time getting this point back on Random side can actually get the first cap. Now Locked here will tell you this is the mid-fight win right here. And it might as well very well count for that as well, as they're already moving on from mid to seconds right away with this advantage. Still in their hands, there's a bomb coming in, Kozuki in the sky. Everyone needs to look up very badly, but they catch him just in time, and any second chances here look like a distant dream now from Alien Workshop. Has to back off all the way to last the blue team, and with that, Random in a very big turnaround, basically from their own last with their medic, brought us way back to the opponent's last now.
Yeah, I guess the one saving grace for Random is that they have held long enough that they do have their own Uber charge up and ready to pop, but actually gun taken down, they're walking in, trying to cap up on top. It doesn't look like they're going to get too much. Actually, the force comes out onto Lucky. That's massive. You're going to see how many players they can keep alive in the midst of it. Going to jump back in. Nope. Maybe all the way back out.
Really nice surprising with no Uber used in all of this as well. I mean, the worse it gets, the more you don't want to use Uber anymore, I suppose, but surprised they didn't just very convincingly use it to begin with, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely, but look at this, managing to get out, managing to trying to build up a little bit, but yeah, they're going to have another go. And yeah, they're still come up second though, is maybe going to slow things down a little bit, but yeah, still potentially going to have some time, 70% unlucky. It's going to be touch and go, but it looks as if they might be doing the going. They're going to get ready in lobby, see if they can get any pressure from a 5, but Lucky's been building so quick. This could be a stark surprise when they go in.
That's what complicated matters quite a bit here. The Uber advantage certainly nothing like what it used to be here, but they're still taking a chance very optimistically about all of this. Phoenix with huge damage on them. Yeah, will go down before they can react. They were very confident taking space that went so well for so long, but now they have to make the most of a really awkward Uber situation here. Still getting the Uber of Lucky is imperative right now, and they're trying their hardest to make it happen. Unforgiven also needs to survive, and that's all. Tavi is not to kill the guy, and he has time to react, turn around, hit the pipe, get Unforgiven before it's too late, and this will turn around real quickly here. Notwithstanding a potential backup, but it looks like no one's hiding, so yeah. Alien Workshop holding on. That was, I mean, the scout being dropped wasn't looking like the biggest problem, but it certainly just made things spiral out of control really quickly.
Yeah, there's a sniper to contend with on this way into mid. Fires the shot, doesn't quite land it onto, but I think it's a body shot onto the scout instead, but it's just all the way back. And get out into sewer, maybe getting caught. Actually, no, lands a nice shot there onto Sneaky. Really nice work there for Phoenix. Managing to get out alive somehow on 1 HP, but the Uber charge advantage is still there, and it's still absolutely huge. Unforgiven still only on 30%. And yeah, this charge forward from the aliens continues.
Won't be easy, but still have the Uber advantage to work with here as well. Surprising to see the spy check already, but there might be something to see here. There's a sniper on the field, I suppose. Given the situation we're in, sniper now is not exactly the most subtle thing, I guess, but it's better knowing about it ahead of time than not. But it also wastes a lot of Uber, so they're expecting themselves to have a lot less advantage than they actually end up being. My miscalculation on their part as well. Maybe they just didn't trust whatever it was. It was barely 30, I suppose. It wasn't the biggest, but certainly still usable, I would imagine. So hard to imagine anything other than just slight misread on the
Yeah,
situation.
I think it was a bit awkward right on the retreat from the Nandem side. Like they sort of disconnected a bit. Maybe Unforgiven wasn't beaming quite as much as they anticipated. But there is a spy up on Sneaky. See whether he's able to sneak his way in. But while Piggy actually caught out, this is not looking too good.
Oh no, this is going to work too, there.
Oh, never mind. Sneaky comes in, really nice play there, getting the pick, in the distraction.
But they lost so many for the distraction. Oh, they got to sell a bit now, that's free life.
Yeah, they're going to try and get something, but the soldier going behind already on blank. Lucky's in a pretty precarious situation. Going to be actually really important kill. Really important killer in Sewers from Justy.
Man, it's been so long ago since Sneaky played Spine Island as well, but I guess you can just do it on any class now, right? Does it on Scout, does it on Rifleman, does it on Spy as well still, so whatever class the man chooses to play, it just keeps getting results it seems, and this is no exception here, and whatever little advantage they might have had previously, it's a lot better now. So it was really just a waste of like a minute's time here, really easily trying to make space here, mostly just takes himself out with that in mind, however, and that might still be good enough. They still have the Philippe situation even with the one kill. It's a bit tough to really contest into that, having given up so much space already, but it looks like the blue team wants just a bit more.
Yeah, already trying to go into lobby. They're capping up second right about now, but Justy down, there's a gun to contest with as well. So, yeah, they're backing out. They think better of it. They want to get their spawner in. But they're still going to, 20% ad. This ad's ticking down by the second, and I'm not sure there's going to be any left by the time they want to go in. If they're going to have to slow this down and maybe go for something a bit more default.
Well, you say that, but it's not like Nandem chose to play very default on last either, right? They just went in like they only played, and they got surprisingly far before things went out of control here, so we'll see if Alien Workshop has that sort of same energy to them here. With what I remember, last time I've seen them play, and mind you, this is quite a while ago. This was not even like late in last season, this was very early last season. They were not minding playing it really slow, so this takes a while. I would not be surprised, but the roster changed, and maybe so do their priorities here. For one, I remember seeing Kazuki on Sniper much, so that's already a change for sure.
Yeah, Kazuki runs it quite a bit on product, I think. But going to be peeking into lobby now, in through 4, see if anyone stands in front of the sight line. There's plenty of options for peeking into this lobby. It's quite a dangerous position to be if you're in the attacking side against a sniper. There's a lot of sight lines that lead in from all those different doorways, and Kazuki currently just huge story dancing around trying to take the pick. Excuse me. As going to be all backing out. Yeah, not gonna stick around too long there is Lucky.
I can't get your extending soldiers here as well, but we'll have to pay with the sniper's life either way here. Kazuki going down. They still have sniper down here on Nandem too, so they dare to peek a little bit more aggressively as well. Now is the time. Still a lot of spam coming in, does not make it necessarily much easier than with the sniper still alive, but if you ever want to get out of here, maybe now's the chance to take.
Yeah, it seems like they're just gonna have to back up. There's a flank, just checking all the off classes on Spy, see if there's any more shenanigans occurring. It doesn't seem like anything is going to be a miss, so we're going to be going back off over onto Soldier again. There's still this sniper on Hugie to deal with, still a gun to deal with as well, and timer ticks down. It's been 2 minutes we've been sat here in this last, and not a great deal of progress being made just yet, but Justy going to be charging in, getting a good amount of damage. Aaron Tree goes down as well, more damage in onto the combo there as almost gets another frag, but nope, forced out, nice shots as well, and yeah, going to have to back up as Furora frags has sort of equalised things.
Oh, they had good faith in that, I suppose, as well. And honestly, it's hard to do that well on Process, but just being able to like peek in from all directions, as if it was Gully Wash in some ways. Really good if you're good at it. Really hard to actually get right one.
Yeah, but actually going to try and push out.
They're getting so much damage already.
Yeah, Blank's very weak, Unforgiven's weak as well. We've got a Soldier Justy all the way in behind and roll out, but there's so many players weak, but so little frags coming through. There's Nandem going to somehow weather the storm, keep everyone alive. That could have been so dangerous. They're all getting low, they're all getting jumped on, but 3 picks go their way, and now they're going to go even further in. Blank jumping in already, going to try and land in onto Lucky, lands one good rocket. Sneaky's taken down, and yeah, this could be the call for the charge to come in through choke.
Oh yeah, they're just ending up using Uber early on blue as well. That was a spare pipe flying in from Luca through choke onto the medic. Lucky Weak decided to pull the trigger early here, but maybe a bit too early as well. Piggy shot down before getting close to the medic. And this could not have gone any better. Distraction by the Soldier, working brilliantly for Luca to get everything they wanted.
Yeah, absolutely. Now the tables have turned completely over towards the Nandem side as they're jumping all the way across, taking all this space for free, and Unforgiven still has that massive Uber advantage. Going to take mid for free. Going to try and get a good bit of space in second as well. Gun already getting built on this blue last point as the players start jumping their way across, taking second, taking all the space, and there's still 30% ad left. If they want to go quick, they can go, and they can perhaps use this ad into last. They're going to go for it through one.
Yeah, Alien Workshop has to play hide and seek for a little bit here, and the cap time being really slow in second is really helping out right now. Lucky has so much time to get Ubercharging going, but then using a couple players, he used to be really weak as well in the 1v1 with the guy on V, unfortunately. Will not survive that encounter. Luckily, still taken out. Can use a second later than maybe anticipated, but might still work out in the end. Clean the last few players that stayed in to force that, but it's not a lot of advantage they're getting out of this. They just unfortunately forced this late. Uber still too early.
Yeah, like you say, that cap time coming through just a tad too slow there. If they could pressure point as well at the same time as just running around, charging around recklessly trying to go for the frags, maybe they could have got something a bit better, but like you say, no meaningful advantage coming out of it as everyone's going to have to set back up. Gun getting rebuilt as well. There's a sniper up both sides, just building up, and then we'll see what Nandem have to offer and cracking the nut of last point, which Alien Workshop failed to crack for about 4 minutes beforehand.
Uber's being built here, like I said earlier. It's just not enough of an advantage to push off any more convincingly than they did just now, but I mean, Nandem hasn't shied away from playing off very little before, so I would not imagine this changes much in that regard here as well. And you can already see them peek a lot. Gun down pretty quickly. It's a great start, surely, but said enough as well. Ooh, the flank. Yusti just denies both players on the flank by himself. Soldier shot back. Scout blindly walked right into him. And it's just 2 down in this fight. They're going deep. Yeah, they got this Uber really quickly there at the end, and it's just going to cause a bit more trouble than they were expecting. However, oh, okay, they are expecting the player behind. No, they know very well that flank's there.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit scary for a moment, but getting onto Unforgiven, absolutely massive for Alien Workshop. The ad just flips back and forth. We're going end to end on this first map approach. See, Blank is still alive for a while, surely not much longer yet. Taken down eventually. Shenanigans is over. And they try and walk into mid. There is a huge sniper peeking in towards the choke, who's going to have to be navigated. It seems like the shot was landed over towards Tav. He doesn't quite hit it. And everyone charges across the midpoint now. Sniper out safely. And Ad still sitting pretty decently up for Alien Workshop. If they want to go quick, they could perhaps have an opportunity to go even further.
Oh, what? Shenanigans back on 9. Silly little trap there. Was that a blind there even?
I think it's a blind there, yeah. Lucas miles away. Lucas miles away, right? Like,
maybe he has calculated how long it takes the scout after the cap to go exactly to the rock.
It was the scout from the cap, yeah, it is possible.
He just knows these.
That's like Galaxy Brain if that's actually what happened.
We'll see if it happens again, I guess. We'll know for sure. For now, it does give a pretty valid reason for someone to opt again. This time around, however, it will not be lasting very long as well. Ooh, that was, I hope Kazuki wasn't on cabin as well. He beefed the slope jump, the fast roll jump. Doesn't matter, we'll try second try around anyway. This one does get in, does get a lot further, and does get a kill, but not the one they really wanted here as well. And there's the kill again, and it's gonna once again be right on target. They're just constantly ending up in front of the medic through that door there way too easily, it feels like.
Yeah, really nice distraction there, and like this, like I said, 2 players going down for the kill in the demo, not really worth it, and with Medic getting forced out as well, this is looking pretty darn good for Nandem as they're just going to wait for Esperance to get in, try and get some buffs, try and get everyone up and ready, and while Piggy taken down is going to perhaps speed this up even more as Ad still about 50% as they start walking in through the choke, and everyone on this blue side going to try and leave through IT. Not much of a push can go in through there, there's such a tight little corridor, so much spam you can take from the soldiers. They're going to be wise then, and they're not going to chase that way. They're going to go round through choke instead and landing with a massive amount of damage onto the demo and onto the soldier of Tavi and Kazuki respectively, but not going to get that all-important kill onto that medic. So Lucky going to have Ad now on last, but Ad on your own last is not exactly the best place to be.
Yeah, well, on the flip side, we've been here before, and it hasn't mattered enough yet anyway, right? And with Uber in hand, they're certainly feeling a little bit more confident holding this. However, it comes down a lot to how you use this as well, and they're using very early, trying confidently to just chase down whatever they can here. Getting 2 kills isn't bad, but you still need a bit more, because Unforgiven getting a Uber would be a big problem. Getting QG before the scout can escape too is making things a little bit better, but still gotta worry here how long you will stay on second now. Getting this charge into the point is easy. Keeping this point now with Uber situation flipping advantage over to your opponent will be a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, did they get 2 forward spawns as well there, or were they running back from second? Because that could have changed everything, right? Because if there's 3 players up still on mid, maybe you can think about walking even further in. But as it stands, a bit of an advantage for Unforgiven, who takes a lot of spam on the way in. Actually, from some stray rockets. Second point going to be taken for free. There's going to be about 30% residual Uber charge advantage left. But that it's probably just about not enough to make anything work.
Alright, back we go where we started. Like I alluded to, very, very easily flip-flop point here on second sometimes with Deeper situation, and it stands, and then it will benefit of that for now. Makes the Institutional last a little better as well. It's at least even Uber not massive disadvantage. Still doesn't solve the problem of how to get rid of this in a manner that actually leads to something. Because that's been really the problem, right? They've been pretty confident looking at starting things here as well. It just never led to anywhere productive so far. And that's going to be the deal breaker now if they can find a solid answer to what's in front of them here. Which, I mean, I guess with the confidence that they're trying things out, maybe just the sheer number of attempts they're making will make something work.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, we saw last time they were like, and then they were like quite impatient. They just sort of ran in with a trade and then thought that's sort of the last minute thing you maybe see, but like it's quite rare to see that happen straight away. Actually, going to go straight and get the gun this time. That's really big, but they're not going to get it unscathed. They've got two players in that lobby. More pressure coming in as well. These two soldiers from Alien Workshop charging in through lower lobby, going to push out everyone. Kazuki jumping in now as well, taking place from the point. They've got a bomb to deal with in behind her from Blank, who manages to get onto Tavi, the demo man, and escapes out into IT, so really nice work there. And Yusti's gone down as well. So the counter push from Nandem, it's so good.
Yeah, this might just be what they need here. Tavi might just spawn. Still one player advantage here. I mean, after all, why not make your opponent sack the players for you, I suppose, as well. Yeah, once again,
and the Force.
Very optimistically popping into the opponents as well, but the medic just far enough back with only one scout on beam that there's little threat if they choose the wrong guy, and they certainly wanted to scout more than the medic. Lets them walk away completely for free.
Yeah, this is the best chance at a round that either team has had so far. It's a full Uber ad. You couldn't ask for any more. The gun's barely being built as well as Nandem charge across the point, try and get this spam onto this shutter, try and deny as best as they can. As a soldier in the skybox trying his best to block the point. The heavy still has to be dealt with, and it's not exactly going ideal. P still alive, still getting arrowed permanently by Lucky, and the heavy is able to do just about enough. Really nice hold there from Alien Workshop. I thought that was a dead cert of a round.
Yeah, that was clutch damage early by all of the team for Piggy and Sneaky to completely clutch that in the end. Brilliant stuff, but really difficult one to make work as well. And maybe just making the opponents use early actually helped a little bit. It looked really sketchy at the beginning, but it does still have the upside, even with a slightly botched job in some ways, that they maybe, just maybe, will have to spend a little more time well outside last, actually getting in with you, but more than anything else. And I mean, eventually it gets rewarded here as we're going all the way back to mid now. Resistance is there, Uber not so much, so how much resistance that is to be seen here. And maybe not a lot of it. Soldiers staying really far forward, but not committing too much in the end. Just stationary targets on point, both going down. All for what, one scout kill? That's not going to be cutting it to keep this midpoint. Uber will be here now, spawn soon as well, but maybe someone on Alien Workshop has committed for at least some sort of play by then.
Yeah, I'm guessing they're less bothered about the one scout pick they got, more bothered about the like 15 seconds that they managed to hold the Alien Workshop team in IT just to get those last few percents of Uber charge up. They lose both soldiers for it, like you say, but actually now going to get bombed in straight on. Actually gets the Force, massive bomb from Kazuki, single soldier in is all it takes, and never mind, that building might be all for nothing as the charge comes up towards Chuck. Can't get onto anything. Lucky safe on mid, and Alien Workshop now with a massive advantage to work with.
That's going to help tremendously now as well. This has been aggressively back and forth game already, and by all means, Alien Workshop has been in the driver's seat less. But ultimately, right, it just matters if you succeed once, and maybe this is the setup for that as well. UC's bomb's not quite enough, tries to just make space blank. Does not quite die for the soldier trade, would have been great here, but maybe it's still good enough to get position out of it. They're certainly slowly working away on it, and people getting forced out. Entry still really weak. Scout looking for the chase. There it is. The kill has been gotten, and with a couple of people weak, and Uber still advantage to the blue team. They want to go all the way.
Yeah, they're getting rid of the sticks on point. They're getting cleared off one at a time. Uber charge used finally, and all these players, Ultra's left-hand spawn, need to get shut down pretty quickly. There's a soldier up above, could do massive damage to just as he loads up. And there's a heavy to contest with as well. This last time the heavy did great work on Alien Workshop side, and this time it seems like it's doing just about enough as well on Nandem's side as the push fails. Not enough spam coming across. Maybe the cap comes in a second, a bit too late as well, and Lucky going down.
No, Piggy wins
not
that.
Great either. No, Piggy's on last. Oh.
He was just hiding on the fence and on the wall here and just stays there and waits. I remember, you know, when he said they're cleaning the stickies one by one, I don't think they did that at all. The scout immediately dies, as you mentioned, and it all spiraled out of control. They tried to get early cap time while they're hiding in spawn, but just didn't get anything. It took so long to get any cap time, and it just wasn't good pressure for the opponent's team. Bombs away, trying to get onto the medic. The rockets just not quite good enough. Unforgiven of no reason to use to that. And the train will keep rolling. They have no soldiers to worry about, and plenty of Uber to carry all the way to second from here.
Yeah, just that sniper to worry about, but going through IT is going to negotiate the most egregious of those sight lines over towards choke, and they're going to keep going actually all the way into enemy choke, just avoiding confrontation altogether as they start making their way into second. Lucky is going to be getting Uber fairly soon, which is something they have to be careful of over on the Nandem side. Mid only just getting capped up as well, so we might be slowing down again in a moment once these 2 points have been capped up. And yeah, I really want to see. It's obviously like, it's not the best feeling, right? If you're on Nandem's side, like you think in these even Uber situations on last, like the best case scenario you have is you get their med over force or whatever, and they're actually going to go for another force, big damage actually up onto the just one rocket actually launched back. My eye is deceived, but like I say, like you in these even Uber scenarios, you want to get like the situation where you force their med or you've killed them or whatever, and you can go in with full Uber. But last time when they had full Uber, they didn't make it work. So maybe that's a step in the side for them as this time they're going to try and go for something more. One stack in. Doesn't look like it's led to any off classes or any change ups in Nandem. So see how they decide to go from here.
Certainly, certainly. If nothing else is coming out of this game, it's already a much closer game than last time these two rosters faced off against each other. That is, admittedly, quite a while ago now. But considering the results last time were pretty one-sided towards Nandem, Alien Workshop looking pretty good so far. He needs a bit more than this, however. Demo down early, trying to push out his last. Is rough to say the least, but with the picks they still have, it might still be cutting it just fine. Oh, look at that. Demo man, really for forward. Gets the sticky though.
That's huge.
That's so big actually, because the spawns are here now for the red team. Short of their one soldier, they can just walk back in really confidently now, and they're doing exactly that. Have to worry about the soldier behind. Just gets the rocket out in time, at least trades out one more. It's not going to be 6 on last, but that still will be 5 people with Uber. And very good hope this might just work this time around. Damo gets chugged off the beam though. Luca on last. He gets flung into the gun, gets that thing as well, but that was his last dying moments. He did take the gun down as well, and it's just not enough when he wanted to stay in anymore. Yeah,
absolutely, and they're going to have to hightail and run all the way back out over an Nandem. Yeah, like, it's so awkward getting your demo knocked out of Uber like that. Is a miracle. They managed to keep so many members of the combo alive and scurry their way out through lobby via wave 3, but Alien Workshop again, going to be capping up their own second, going to be walking further forward, but with Unforgiven getting out alive, there's no ad to speak of. There's a huge sniper though, which has come out of spawn. Going to be trying to take some shots over towards Choke, but Kazuki straight in onto the minute, goes for the air shot onto Unforgiven, who surfs up onto the crate. Nice movement there, evading that single sack.
Alright, so far so good. Uber advantage is basically not really much there. It's barely 20% if that, and the team just getting here really doesn't put them in a position where they can move on quickly. Look at the snipers back in the field. GV immediately getting some headshots, 2 shots in a row, one dead, one barely healthy enough to still run out alive. If that, and with that, we're going back to the last really quickly. The sniper puts some fear into their minds, but still a bit more work to be done by the rifleman.
Yeah, you've got kind of a free off class, right? If you're bringing the sniper all the way from mid, it's not like you have to sack someone to go get the off class up, but you're going to be peeking in through 3, see if there's anything to find. But like there's great sightlines here, but there's also great spam angles for the defenders, so you have to be kind of careful where you're going for. But actually a kill into Yusti and the Tenjigun taken down, that's really big, and the force comes out.
Everything at once. This is what I was talking about. Once you have the ability to just peek in as if you own the place, everything will be different on this last one. Suddenly it doesn't feel like Snake Water last anymore, where nothing's possible. It just feels like this is your territory, and they just do everything at once perfectly, the way intended. Peek in with spam, get the gun, get the snipe, get the bomb in, all at the same time. And now they just have to finish up their food, and admittedly that's where they've been struggling, but this is about as good as you can ask for.
Yeah, see if they've learned from their mistakes from last time, see if they can make it work at the second time of asking, as we've got another big advantage for the Red Nandem side as they're walking, getting a gun very early, maybe taking space towards the right hand side of the point, getting spammed down quite a lot over towards the point, going to actually catch the kill onto Yusti, who's not quite able to make it back and spawn into. The Heavy's taken down as well. Blanky's in such a powerful position, up in panic with raining death from above onto these Alien Workshop players who are all going down. Kazuki last alive, and the round finally comes through, and what an improvement it was in that last push.
Yeah, eventually they were able to just translate the position of the soldiers up on high ground behind them into actually real damage while they're pressuring the point and forced them out of position here a little bit. Eventually we'll get it done here. They played their cards right, played patient with all the chances they got. It took a while, but like I said, you just need the one. This is maybe that one they needed here. 6 minutes left, still gives Alien Workshop a chance, but they can't spend all of it once again just getting out the last over and over. Ooh, and maybe that's where we're heading right now. Big pipe, big sticky, and no one has
so much damage
anymore.
So much damage. Yeah, Tavi's so lucky to get out alive there as well. Takes so much spam, losing Kazuki as well, and coming up good on this mid and looking to pressure in already, knowing that Kazuki's down. That's one less soldier spamming towards these choke points. Going to try and wander in, but blank shut down, and that might slow things down a bit over on the random side, but 5 minutes left. And one round up, they're perfectly happy for that to happen, and I feel like Alien Workshop might not be waiting. Oh, sent into the shadow realm. He gets knocked up by the sticky trap. Yeah, got sent up by the sticky trap as he went to choke. It's kind of unfortunate there for Justy, but...
Got V-ball body blocked as well up there, just to make sure that it's not going anywhere. That's just mean at that point, but they're not done being mean just yet. They want maybe just another round, right? Just confirm the scoreline a little bit more, get themselves an impossible to overcome lead at this rate, and sneaking a bomb into second certainly is a good way to try and do just that. Bombs away onto the medic, 1-2. Blank doesn't really commit that much in the end, maybe for the best. Couldn't find an angle, barely alive even. But 2 or 5 alive, then 4, and still nothing to show for here. They don't need to get too desperate with their attempts to get some momentum here. It's the blue team that needs to make the move, and they will do just that. Bomb onto the double man, but it's a trade right away.
Yeah, absolutely, and Luca's gone down, which is something, but who was traded out? It's going to be all on this counter push. Can Alien Workshop make anything work of it as they're getting some good ground, but massive collapse on them as they caught behind the rock. Loads of damage. Tavi's gone down. Sneaky's weak as well, down to 5 HP, taken out by the pistol of Hugie, and the picks are actually going the way of Nandem. They wouldn't go further. They're walking in all the way across second as well, trying to chase down what they can. Aaron Tree is in lobby, maybe thinking about going behind for some shenanigans, but no, just going to go for the pack and just play this safe. There's only 4 minutes left, and Nandem already a round up, actually looking at maybe pushing in for more.
2-0 now would be a tremendous lead for them to work with on them, and they can relax so much from that position. If they do that, it's a different question. I have a feeling no, but
big bombs
doesn't change the fact that it gives them a huge safety net here as well, and they can leverage that quite nicely and just go for big plays now until last, seeing what stakes, and it's surprisingly little in the end, so that safety net is looking to have some holes right now.
Yeah, there's almost an argument there for you. Like, you can just sort of slow it down in a second, right? There's no.
That's boring.
Yeah, I guess it is boring, but double sacking in is quite risky, especially when Luca's so far forward as well, and Hugh's trying to support with the pistol spam as the medic. And all 4 of those mentioned players all going down. Gonna mean that Nandem are gonna have to go back to their own second. Luckily they get their medic out alive and have been building well the whole time, so it's even Ubers. But now Alien Workshop have been given a lifeline. They're given a lifeline that's let them perhaps have a push in onto second, and we've seen them have some great sacks through onto Unforgiven beforehand, particularly Kazuki, who's going to be going in actually just with a fake into lower IT and actually gets taken down, so that's not ideal at all for Alien Workshop.
Time is ticking, only 3 minutes left. It's not leaving them with a lot of time for error on blue anymore. It's Nandem, however, pushing the issue surprisingly still. Putting the Uber through choke early to see if they can get a favorable position out of the admittedly 1 kill they already have as well, but so it can kind of rough. Aaron Tree trades out 1 for Scout right away. Is that good enough for anything as well? They're not taking immense amounts of space just yet, and they're spending a lot of time shooting. Justy will eventually get that kill, but it's just 1 by 1 trading kills that does not translate into a really good position on mid in the end, and given that they thankfully were still barely through choke, they can escape through choke back to zone second pretty easily here as well, but it's not like Alien has a choice but to try to convert this into something, and it's just not working out.
Oh,
big damage, Felix cleaning up.
Yeah, Lucky has to kill Bind on the way out. It's not looking great, and yeah, they go for the dry fight. I completely understand. There's time pressure, 4v4, you may as well go for it, but they take so much spam on the way in through choke. And yeah, Lucky last alive. Going to be kill binding, going to be sent back to last. They're getting a gun up already. There's 2 minutes left, and it's 2 minutes that they're going to be very happy to just maybe slow this down and run it out. Or maybe they're going to be happier if they start running in as well. Piggy on the flank over in IT, being a bit of a nuisance, actually all the way around to mid as well. Not going to be threatening much of a back cap unless this block comes in now. Surely not. You're still going to jump back behind. There's 2 behind. This is so dangerous, right? Unforgiven still has.
If I see 4 people on us and 2 people missing, I just try to make push of it, and it looks like Nandem got them over here as well. Got to worry a little bit about backup, but at the same time, right, there's so little resistance on last. Just get in here, don't use early this time around either, just waste some time before you were shooting up the gun, get that thing down here, and off we go. Uber charges on, invincible people trying to rush them down to spawn, but somehow no one has to hide from this.
Yeah, kind of unbelievable. It's Tavi's taken low, and there's good spam across the point. It looks like Aaron jumping in finally there, the counter aggression coming in. It took the Uber charge fading and just sort of slowing it down, getting your positions, getting healed back up again, and then that second wave of aggression from Nandem looks so good, and with 2 players behind, like you say, 4 players on last, there's only so much that they can do. The 2 players behind did have a good job. They drew back some of the flank over on Nandem.
Yeah, that's what slowed down the push to begin with, but eventually they just decided, you're not going to cap on time anymore. We're just on last and killing them, and then they just came back and did. All to say, 2-0 Nandem here looking very convincing at this rate. had control, maybe more of the game than their opponents did, but certainly still, for the narrative of the game, struggled quite a bit converting from that position a little bit here as well. So, well, this map might be one done with. The match certainly might not yet be.
Yeah, absolutely not. And of course, this is like, from what I know about Nandem, this is like one of their best, if not their absolute best map in sort of recent history. So it's certainly their pick, and one that they come into this maybe expecting them to win. So Alien Workshop maybe not too disheartened that this one's going the other way. They've got their own pick of Snake coming up where they can bounce back. And yeah, there's been some good highs from Alien Workshop. They had some. They've been in the game for long portions of it and have really held their own. But yeah, just a couple of crucial moments went against them, and yeah, eventually these chances that are racking up on the Nandem side have come good. And 10 seconds left. People are feeding in. We're into garbage time, and we're into a 2-0 win on map 1.
Yeah, took a while to get there, but they got there in the end. And I mean, that's ultimately the quality you need to strive for as well, right? Just figuring it out by the end is always going to be good enough here as well. Use your 30 minutes for as much as it's worth. And they managed to do just that. Nandem gets the win here in the end. Maybe a little bit closer than they would have liked, but the win's a win in the end.
Well, we're going to be going. Yeah, we'll see what they've got to offer in Snakewater. But yeah, I think that was. It was controlled, it was a bit messy, but yeah, the win counts, and like I say, these matches, they like, in the qualifiers, they're like, I'd argue if you're not going to make playoffs, they're probably like the most important games of the season to some extent, right? Because they do determine what div you're in, so it's potentially a fairly high pressure in these games, so getting a win under their belt in the first game is pretty big over for Nandem, but we'll see what they have looking forward. Is there a chance of any logs in that game?
Yeah, certainly should be. And I know what number I'm looking at for those. Just I kept my eyes on the scoreboard there, and I already knew exactly what was going to be the standout number.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you're getting it as well now. I want to screw this up. Yeah. We all know what I'm talking about.
We all know. Yeah. That's yeah, like new pickup as well, right? New pickup Hugie from Varmkov. We were sort of singing his praises all last season, like doing a great job with like that newcomer team into Prem. Like first season in, they come 5th. They're actually in contention to even get playoffs up until the last week as well. And yeah, Hugie obviously a massive part of that. And yeah, went fairly big on this map in terms of frags at least.
I mean, well, that's my lesson, Scout. If you go 28-8. With what the next high is being a 16, you're doing pretty good, all things considered. And that will probably translate into every map as well. Not to ignore the damage by his explosive classes as well, to probably help quite a bit getting those kills as well. I would imagine that certainly does some good work there too, at the end of the day, and set them all up exactly how they wanted to. And I mean, if nothing else, right? It's mostly surprising that he died a little, considering how risky they played into the last a lot of the time.
Yeah, I don't know how, like, there's some of those Uber trades where, like, it's, like, kind of a miracle that, like, and Phoenix as well, to be fair, was getting out of these, like, last push attempts, like, so well.
Unforgiven for that one, actually.
Yeah, like, both medics dying so little for, like, such a scrappy game with his trades happening all over the place, like, for the most part, like, pocket scouts and medics and flank scouts to some extent as well were, like, having a pretty high shelf life, which was, yeah, pretty uncommon in such games.
I have nothing else for how risky they played a lot of the time as well. They realized when things were bad enough to just bail, which is a quality in of itself sometimes. So there's certainly some positives of both teams to be drawn out of this one, even if it did still work out better for Nandem in the end. I don't know how this will translate into Snakewater though, because I saw those last plays. I am thinking this will be even harder on Snakewater. Maybe not impossible. You see the best teams we have need to, after all, be able to get away with a lot more things still than like your lower level teams on Snakewater last, but even then it's still a whole other level of difficult than on a map like Process, so I don't know if these guys are ready for it. Maybe they are. Maybe they just believe they are and will try, and if their opponents don't have a good enough defense, they still get away with it sometimes.
Yeah, it can be such a wall, right? Like it is what decides Snakewater games a lot of the time. Is yeah, like do you have like
valuing your time on last? Yeah.
Yeah, like making good use of your time and yeah, making some good plays. Obviously, there's plenty of set plays you can go for, but like picking the right ones at the right times and sort of adapting to any sort of minor changes your opponent's throwing in. Obviously, there is the stock standard setup that is pretty common and pretty potent for defending. But there's some ways you can perhaps try and get around that. Maybe like various soldiers, and maybe ways to distract the gun and things like that. But yeah, it's super hard. And I guess the Alien Workshop, they've picked the map. They're going to show us why they've picked it and show us some great new exciting ways of getting into last.
Or it would be very embarrassing, which is also possible. I don't think that's very advisable for them right now. Although, quite frankly, I'm trying to remember, and I'm pretty sure they had, while some good results here in history on Snakewater, there was I think 2 seasons ago, Alien Workshop had a very, very unfortunate comeback by the opponents on them on this map as well. That being said, though, they did beat the eventual winners of Div 1 last season on this map, the closest it might have been, I think. So things have only gotten up from there, which seemingly they must have between LAN and this. Maybe this map holds the secrets they need to win this matchup as well.
Yeah, and of course, since last season, they picked up Sneaky as well, who was had some pretty good Snakewater games over on Havoc last season. Although, admittedly, was part of.
He tied as many games as they did in different divisions. So
yeah, that's
technically it's better because he tied against Prem teams, I guess. For however that might be worth. As it stands, it looks like people are joining back in here, and I'm curious to see. Our last map would be Sunshine, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, Sunshine Decider, yeah. Both teams sort of keeping it stock standard. I know the map pool is a bit more standard than previous. Obviously, Entropy's made its way out, but Sultry has stayed.
I'll take.
Neither team wants to engage with Sultry in this series. All the Koth maps both banned out instantly.
Realistically, I'm fine with Sultry staying, to be honest.
Yes,
fine. It's an okay map.
Yeah,
it's decent. It's not. I mean, give it more time. Maybe there will be developments that make it a bit worse, or just be noticeably worse at things that just right now kind of whatever because people are figuring things out. But if Sultry turns out not as good as the others, it's fine because it's not aggressively bad by any means.
Yeah, but are you meaning as people play it more, they figure out more strats that make it more boring?
Yeah, the defensive meta game gets way overblown,
Yeah, that makes sense.
That could turn out bad, but as it stands right now, it's in an okay place at least. And realistically, for a new map, I'm not hoping for anything else really. A lot just happens through metagame developments over the years still, and that does happen in various stages throughout a map. It doesn't. A lot obviously happens early, but many details change later down the line, as we see on these maps as well. And we'll see how those maps will develop from there, I suppose. I don't know if the map's still very actively being worked on as well. We'll have to wait and see. What we know for sure is as well that Nandom is up 1 in this best of 3 series. Taking Snakewater would put them in the position exactly that they want to be here in winners once again for the next match. Alien Workshop on the verge of having to sit it out on losers here and go home crying.
Yeah, go home to log into their next match, which will be in 2 days' time in the lower bracket. But yeah, see what they can get cooking on this mid. It was their pick. Seems like a slow start for both of them so far until actually on cue both soldiers on either side going straight in. Aaron Tree going massive in onto Lucky as well. Huge pick. Kazuki, Wild Piggy all flying around like flies, trying to get the damage they can with this red combo, but great movement from Unforgiven, taken very, very low, using that Demo Man as a meat shield, and survives. 5 survive, in fact, over on this red side, and Nandem having a perfect start.
I think Phoenix heard us talk about Yuji too much just now and wants to set the record straight a little bit. And this is doing a good job towards that here as well. He immediately just comes out swinging, cleans up everything the team put in front of him. And I mean, they barely even needed 3k at the end there. They were already looking good by that position, having 3 right away with just their bombs alone. I think Aaron here was the first one in there. He immediately gets results, and the back to last it goes. You'd hope, however, for a better conversion rate on this last than the previous map.
Absolutely. Phoenix going to be taking the Uber straight in onto the point. There seems like a gap around the sticky traps, able to get quite a bit of cap time as players come back out from the right blue spawn. Tabby taken down. Demo means no sticks on this point, and counter-aggression going to be getting ready to be set up now for the Nandem side. Jump up onto the point. There's still a heavy to deal with on this point. Wild Piggy's been alive for quite some time, taken down eventually by Yuji. But the numbers are still here for Nandem. They're still pushing onto the point. There's so much cap time. It's inevitable that they get it. You're not going to land in time. And what a slow burn of a forward push, but they make it work.
Yeah, Luca coming back in at the end really was the deal breaker as well. They tried to just sit behind point, buff up a little bit, get healed back going, but they just couldn't. There was sticky spam coming from down below. And suddenly the safe space was completely getting nuked down. No chance to take the fight any slower. Had to go point, had to take initiative there, and outnumbered as they were, that's just not going to allow that really to happen the way intended. puts Nandem right away 1 up here in a very different turn of events on last map already.
Yeah, just 2 minutes played and really, really great start. Seems like a slight turn of pace that mainly works with jumping straight in. Going to get a fair bit of damage and look at enemy who goes down for the pack. Yusti's down behind as well. Maybe going to be a nasty surprise for those players on the grass, but actually has to retreat all the way around into the kitchen. Going to jump back up. Maybe might get Luca actually. Okay, maybe it's something to salvage in this mid, but the rest of the team's run away. Really moves.
Yeah,
they didn't want anything of it.
That could have been
now.
So much. Oh, is it too late? Actually, wait a second. They flank early, boosting the damage on the Phoenix. If they just stayed in initially, it would have been great, because they already had pretty good damage on everyone. As the player behind him. Yeah, they tried others here. This is still savaging enough, surprisingly, because UC had no backup as well. UC with backup there, this would have been just a full wipe, basically. They had better help there by that point, but they spent so much time trying to survive at the beginning. And Tavi got, like, just juggled throughout the entire midpoint at the beginning. I'm impressed that man even got out in time, to be honest, but as it stands, it at least gets them a small bit win here, but they want a big one as well, and they're getting a big one, alright.
Okay, that was pretty high, that from Kazuki, bombing straight in, smashing down onto Unforgiven. What a time to turn up with a shot like that.
He missed a rocket land on himself.
Oh, I'm really going to get too excited. Medic getting dropped to a pretty spicy air shot, and well now.
What a tale of two soldiers just now.
Yeah, tale of two soldiers on either end, but we saw Nandem before convert one of these big Uberad pushes into last, and now Alien Workshop going to have an opportunity themselves as they're going to get ready. Looks like Shutter is the name of the game once more. See if they can have the same success that their opponents did.
You can't beat these, right? Like, we all understand you cannot lose this now.
There's 0% chance.
It could be very sad to lose this now. They gotta make the most of it here. Big damage right away. Brilliant stuff right there. And the collapse coming in with that as well is struggling a little bit, but luckily as much time as spending in the corner, not spending much time on point just now as well on Red. And Sneaky gets so much capital out of it, but is it enough?
There's no medics, so no arrows onto Huge. It means that the health is the limited resource on this red side.
Actually, they have both sides. Actually matters so much more. That man pipes people down faster than the sandwich can heal the heavy in the meantime. Don't even need to wait for that to happen. Oh no. Dude, they wanted to collapse on them behind truck, but they just didn't hit more than their opponents.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. There were so many players spamming towards that truck, right? And they had the scout on point, but somehow the heavy waddles out, and somehow the soldier managed to block point long enough, and somehow, some way, that drop on second didn't go unpunished. Or didn't get punished, I should say.
Well, imagine hitting that air shot just for your team to do this on last.
Oh, I'd be fuming.
Must be annoying right about now. But you can't let that get to you. You still gotta make the most of it here as well. It's a small ad, but they still have here. They try to get something going with this one, but it's not going so hard as well. They spend a lot of time looking for stickies, not a lot of time looking forward at the soldiers spamming them. Yeah,
and they still drop anyway. Tavi, Lucky both going down, Wild Piggy falling as well. Luca's the only one to drop on this red side, and Nandem now turning this coast to coast perhaps as massive advantage, still going to be flat 100%. Lucky's only just spawning in now, getting a forward spawn. Maybe no, they're not getting any more forward spawns. Only 2 players up on second. Going to have to hightail it all the way back up to the lobby. Going to try and get themselves out, get some kind of setup on last, but they're still only at 30%. Second cap swinging through already, and Nandem, they're going to have another golden opportunity at round.
Yeah, and I mean, they needed a little more than an advantage last time around. They have exactly that again, less so this time I suppose, but it's still there. Don't have to worry. Gun is up, sniper's up. There is resistance here as well. The shot's not coming through in time by the sniper rifle of Sneakies here, and with that, the cap time is on their block early. Makes them really easy targets there on the point itself, and you'd think that'd be a good time to shoot everyone down blocking this, but it looks like the blue team's damage is just that much better now than it was on the other last just a minute ago.
Yeah, fortune's reversed as actually now it's going to be Unforgiven getting chased down all the way into Sora as well. Aventry has gone down. Unforgiven might not be getting out of this unscathed. There are some spawners up as well, surfing the scattergun damage across the mid. As Sneaky going to have to run back out onto the second point. Almost killing the medic there as well to add insult to injury, but there's still a fair bit of injury because Lucky still has a big advantage. There's still a soldier down, and Alien Workshop still going to be wandering in onto this midpoint momentarily.
That's still an open wound as we speak, but trying the hardest to mend the wounds here a little bit as well with a backup attempt, I suppose. Doesn't last very long, and sadly enough, will not quite get them to 100% as well here. And it looks like Nandem has made the choice with that in mind as well. Plays really far back, just hoping to maybe contest with a Uber charge as well. Unforgiven, really aggressive actually. This is not a maybe, this is definite. They're going in with this Uber charge. They're not really too fast about not having 6 life. They're going to get the 6 player back during the 8 seconds of this Uber because it is just a solo on the scout. And Maybe a bit of an awkward one. They stayed so far in for that one kill they got. And Unforgiven could not escape. They're getting space, but for how long now?
Phoenix going big though, you saw. Gonna get one, maybe going to Tavi as well, who might be just a couple of pistol shots away.
There's a Soldier coming in as well.
Aaron Trier, massive damage in onto the medic. Lucky goes down. Huge going to try and follow up some damage as well, but no, just not managed to get into the safety of lower lobby. But what looked like a nightmare scenario there for Nandem is somehow turn it on its head and somehow come out like not quite fully unscathed, but they're still
they're coming out of it better.
Yeah, they're definitely better. They've got the Ubercharge advantage. Lucky going down as well, and yeah, getting their spawners in eventually, and then they can start to look forward.
And this is the kind of things you need to see in these situations, right? You're losing out something here. You can't just go home and, you know, sit back and wait forever to have everyone back up again on your own last at that point, basically, right? Or you can try to do something about it, and they certainly look really good about finding a way to do something about a bad situation there in every time he's well. They're lacking some players. Get in, abuse those openings while we can. Get them pretty much into second now as well. Have a bit of resistance here, but it's not quite enough there by Kazuki in the end.
Yeah, good effort there. Getting quite a lot of damage, but unfortunately spread out over like 3-4 people, so not going to secure any frags. And Unforgiven has his Ubercharge up, but Lucky is actually only 10% away, so if Alien Workshop can just sort of survive for long enough, they're going to have an Ubercharge out ready to use. Phoenix going down on the point is not ideal either, and does this get called off for Nandem?
One bomb attempt here, that's really all they tried. Ooh, Aaron Trier spam almost still caught a mid-spawner at the end, but Lucky just about gets around the corner in
that would
time.
Have been tragic.
And really would have been, yeah, but for now they're getting at least some chance to get a lost.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 picks up, and even Ubers, they're walking up, gonna get themselves stacked up 1 second. No forward spawns denied, but plenty of space taken, and a point is very, very important. Don't want to be locked in on snake glass. Especially behind, or never mind, you can drop the Ubercharge. Aaron Trier with a massive sync bomb there, straight in onto the medic, and really, really huge play there. Piggy going to be up behind, trying to do what he can, maybe rat around and go for some sort of burn to Unforgiven, but again, it's just flip-flopping back and forth. Unforgiven now with another advantage, and another push into last, and with 13 seconds on this respawner from Tavi, this has to be a round.
I think, like, legally, you cannot lose this now.
There is actually a 0% chance.
That's just so many stickies point already. That's all on spawn. There's no way to even get past that alone, let alone get to point it out afterwards. And there we go. That's gonna do it right there. What is a for Nandem to get this round? Alien Workshop just messing up one too many times at this round, and 2-0 lead, looking pretty strong. Much earlier than last time round. Gives them more chance for the comeback, but if anything, it just speaks volumes to Nandem's ability to actually finish off on last than they were able to on the previous map.
Yeah, it's 2 from 3. And their Uber had last pushes, and yeah, it's better than the Alien Workshop managed to muster with their one failed attempt, but a bit of a turn of pace on this mid from Nandem as they're getting a plate in behind. Aaron Trier's gone all the way in. They've got a lot of damage being taken though on the other side. Phoenix is very, very weak. Hugie going to be trying to get into enemy kitchen as well. There's players absolutely all over the place, and it looks like Nandem are going to take that cue to just retreat up, try and get out as best as they can. Hugie might be coming in to try and block this mid cap eventually, try and be a bit annoying, but Wild Piggy there, as is Kazuki. Hugie actually gets the kill and gets out alive. That's kind of remarkable. Still Kazuki on mid, but Hugie can still be a threat.
I mean, certainly so. We've seen how much one player in the backline can manage to sense the scout trying to do the best here, but 1 against 2 does not be odds, I suppose, in the end there. Alien Workshop once again with a slightly better start to this round, but how far can they go with it this time around?
Yeah, well, last time they were in this situation, they had Kazuki just jumping onto bridge and hit the drop. So this time, maybe go for something similar.
Maybe. Certainly trying to just get some big spam in the left side while the bomb's
Kazuki
coming in right off the point. Oh, right in front of the medic, just could not get the rockets out.
Feeling confident from the last attempt, I suppose. Confidence flowing through the veins.
I mean, you need that right now, right? You
can't
just give up at this point. Oh, big damage in saw areas while Yusti just hammering down the damage. The scout cleaning up, sneaky with the kill and with the attempt to just take space here early. He doesn't have to beam with him or anything. Just runs in there like they want to place him.
Tavi's weak.
Oh, hits the pipe the second Unforgiven uses here. Really clutched by the red medic. This is kind of sketchy from Blue, and two of them will die on the way back out again as well, but they did not use. Lucky gambled it on being able to get out of this alive. Few players going down be damned, and they better make this count now, but we've seen how much Nandem can do with just 2 down, and once again,
they're in trouble. they're in trouble. There's so much pressure coming in. Lucky's going to have to do so well to keep hold of this Uber charge and keeping the players healthy for now, apart from no drop Sneaky. I think Sneaky was meant to be going in with this Uber. You're going to try and make it work instead, but there's no scouts. But just soldiers jumping in across onto the bridge. Going to have to back all the way out. The Uber charge gets basically nothing. I think maybe one kill on the way through. That was rather rough from Uber. Just Sneaky going down at the worst possible time there, just before the Uber was about to be popped off.
Yeah, and once again, I mean, Nana, just whenever they're having the back against the wall is when I feel like the best place happening at this rate. They're managing to get the way out of pretty bad situations pretty consistently right now. It's helping them a lot not really stay back on the back foot too long here as well. Bomb by Kusuki certainly not a chance to get past anyone right there. Medic playing really far back on the entrance to mid and gives everyone plenty of chance to get that kill early. And with that, that's really all they had on mid as well. Second, different story. The Uber's not quite there yet, but if this takes long enough, maybe you can fight back with Uber?
Yeah, there's a good bit of spam there on Cheese, but it looks like Nanda are able to cut off that line of attack quickly enough, and yeah, it means that those few seconds of extra discard over on Alien Workshop side is going to force them back out to last. It's going to be even Ubers. They're going to be getting a gun up, heavy up, getting themselves into their setup, but yeah, there's no rush right from Nanda now. There's half the game played nearly. 2 rounds up, looking very, very good. Outside enemy last. They can take their time with this. They can go for basically whatever they want.
Which option will we go for? I mean, even just doing very little is an option right now, and with how difficult this last at even Uber can be sometimes, taking it slow might not be a bad idea. Huge back to Sniper certainly will look exactly like that here as well. I guess I can't be too surprised they're not trying as brave as attempts we've seen on Process, I suppose. Not entirely anyway, so Sniper this, that's the chance we're taking, and with the time they have, plenty of opportunity to still do some damage with that. Or you just do it first try.
Yeah, that's a really important pick there. Over onto Sneaky. Yeah, the sniping compatriots, see if they can make anything work from it. Iron Tree going to bomb through and bomb straight into the trap of Tavi, so that might be the end of that pick advantage. Might be just a cue to get back out again, worth a go, but yeah, sticky trap on the doorway is going to put a stop to any speed shot bombs through.
Alright, which other angles can we work with here though as well, with players back up on the field? Will we just, I guess a test of endurance right now as well, right? Not making a big mistake in the last push, like last hold like this. Always sounds so easy, right? Just do the standard hold, but the moment they're peeking a bit too much on Random is when you see if they actually know what they're doing on blue, I suppose. This is what really matters.
Yuji's peeking in, thinking about peeking in from this far left side. See, he actually sees the arm of Tavi just round the corner. Maybe there could be an opportunity for a shot if Tavi steps out any further. Tavi exposes himself, takes a 150 body shot, gets out unscathed. Otherwise, really, really fortunate there that isn't a headshot, because otherwise that could have been the floodgates opening.
That's the kind of opportunities they're waiting for. Unfortunately, not a headshot just now, but I'm sure Yuji will not miss too many of those, so be real careful how many chances you give the opponent. Sniper there as well. Have their own to try to counteract this once again, sneaking in the rifle. See what they can do here. Oh, Blank, barely escaping some spam from under as well. Not a quiet moment just now, despite the stalemate we're in, but until someone really goes deep. And Sniper sure is trying. It's not going to amount to too much just yet.
Yeah, trying to open the door, and yeah, there's so many buffed up soldiers jumping around in front of the door. Like, it's so hard to just pick your shot and go for it. Teleporter goes down. That's something, I suppose.
That's huge, honestly.
Yeah, that's a push.
I've seen that thing put in work on this last.
Oh, Sneaky might be catching Hugie blindside. And actually misses the shot. I don't think Hugie was aware that Hugie was looking the complete opposite direction there. Could have been a slight freebie. But yeah, Tavi's playing with fire on this left-hand side. Going to try and pan back Hugie. But yeah, as it stands, yeah, just trying to work their way in. The two snipers obviously slowing the game down quite a lot between them. But
it's a good time to mention that mid players do not have to deal with this season.
Yeah, it's been rotated out finally. Finally, it's time to
not do this.
The Snake Water last. Oh, the teleport.
Used to be high. Wait, how did he get this fire in?
No way.
No way, he just was allowed to do that.
Yeah, Lucky gets out alive as well. Took a fair bit of damage, but able to get back to the safety of the dispenser. There's Blank gonna bomb in, try and get
it's
in.
It's a double bomb.
He's gonna get good damage. Force comes out as well. Finally, can anyone get out alive in lobby? Sneaky's gonna be there, trying to deal with Phoenix, who's gonna be running all the way back out. Wild Piggy's there as well with the crits.
This is where we pause.
Onto it. Yeah, we paused straight on the crits. What a timing. But
beautiful.
But yeah, really nice work there from Joshi there, getting in behind, getting onto the medic, and yeah, great cleanup as well from Alien Workshop. Like, that's what you need, right? There's a timer on this. It's not obviously in the really, really tense part of the time where it's like ticking down to the final few minutes, but they're going to have to, want to be getting themselves back in the game and getting them on second. They're going to have some uber advantage as well with Unforgiven just spawning up, maybe, depending on what the building situation's like. But yeah, it's really nicely played.
Well, it gets them this far. But this pause might take a moment here before they really can continue. I mean, the pause is a couple seconds from now, I suppose, so it's not really right here, although it would be funny if it was. To be honest, we'll have to live in suspension if Yuji actually just goes for a funny angle, but I feel like if he attempts to, he's just going to get noticed right away.
Yeah, well, we're back live again. Yuji, yep, as you mentioned, on this sniper sightline, in from lower. See if we can find anyone overstepping the mark. See if we can find anyone peeking perhaps too far, but nope. Yeah, we've paused again. I believe hearing that it's some server issues, some server lag. So that, to my ear, doesn't sound good. That might sound potentially like.
I mean, this is not honestly. Oh God, there was like a day where, like, I swear to God, there was like one server that was just super laggy for no reason. Like for no particular reason, genuinely as well. It was just the funniest thing because it was like really minor hiccups, like constantly.
Yeah, that's the worst, though, right? Like,
but it's like the smallest thing, but constantly. It's so annoying.
Yeah, it's the worst. I was meaning more, like as in maybe not a quick fix. It's not like, I don't know, someone's knocked Pepsi over their keyboard or something and just like wipes it or something and then
it's a gas
like goes or something. Or reasons that ETFL teams have pauses. But yeah, like if you need to get a new server or anything, that could be a fair turnaround, knowing the speed that people like to log into new servers.
I don't know, Chad, if your opponents claimed they had a gas leak and needed a pause, would you let them? That sounds far-fetched to me, to be honest. I don't know if it would count. This is an annoying moment for a pause from our perspective now as well, because this is like the best it's been in a minute for Alien Workshop now as well, and we have to wait to see what comes of it as well. Or if there will be a third pause now as well.
Yeah, Yosti's made his way in, but takes so much damage to spam coming in from top Soars. Sneaky gets onto Luca Enderman though, and actually quite a lot of damage going in towards that red sword Blanca that just about get that frag. Finishing off onto Kazuki. It's 3v3 temporarily. Scout's just capping up and making a try and deny some forward spawns. Going inside the demo. That's fairly important for them as well. Piggy going to be thinking about going for the forward. No, decide to build up. Decide to just chill it out on mid. Build their advantage and get themselves set back up again.
I mean, worth noting still, Nandom, really bad position there in many respects as well. Still try to take an aggressive approach about it. Be proactive instead of just falling back. Get something going to mid. See if they can somehow get too lucky here. Somehow get themselves out of the worst of it here as well. And while they still lose mid, I mean, it's not gonna lose them Uber on second too much of anything, right? They already have even again here, so it's just fine. Early Uber.
Yeah, Lucky, it's a big direct on the way in, taken so weak. And actually the Force comes out and the Force gets basically nothing unless Sneaky can go underneath and go absolutely huge. Currently sat in Africa, but everyone's teleporting actually. I mean, this is where the pause was. It's yeah, not looking rather good. There are people skateboarding around, jumping. Maybe this was where the pause happened. Okay, but
where's pause 2 is the question.
Probably about 5 seconds from now, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
when they were originally. But yeah, the massive damage into Lucky there, right? On lower, getting that Force out early.
Good case scenario here though, it happened while nothing was happening. So nothing really got impacted there by much of anything in gameplay terms too much. We have a mid-transition here, big bomb by Kazuki. Gets the Force really early, wow.
Nice. Yeah, Kazuki's been making good work with these bombs through this Snakewater map. Obviously had the nice airshot earlier on, getting a couple of good forces as well, and it's actually going to be pretty massive, right, for Lucky now. Lucky's been building diligently this whole time. Sat at 90%, so this push can come back in pretty much straight away once Kazuki's there ready. Kazuki's just rolling out now, and they're ready to go.
Oh, are they going at all? I don't know.
They're thinking about it.
I don't think they're thinking anymore. They've made their minds up.
Well, not.
Worth noting, they debated, hey, we want to switch server if this persists, and they just, no, I don't care, let's say. And don't behold, it worked out. It's not lag anymore. Crazy.
Yeah, it seems like a 20-minute ordeal of getting a new server and connecting to it, and then the config being wrong or something silly. I don't know, like, there's all sorts that can go wrong. So yeah, nice to be able to stay on the same server. But what's not so nice is that attempt at a push there from Alien Workshop. Not the end of the world. They didn't use They didn't drop too many players, but it was kind of stopping its tracks on their way up through Kitchen, and as a result of that, Uberchargers have stabilised, and that has brought Manden back in the fray as they're getting ready to perhaps go for some sort of sack. Blank jumping in, Irontree going in as well, getting a kill into Yosti, going to try and land in Cheese into Kazuki as well, who's very, very weak. Both these soldiers waiting for arrows. They're taking so weak, but a soldier down. They're going to keep the pick up, and they're going to see if they can get any further in. Irontree goes for one shot on the medic, has to back out though. The frag's coming through.
Yeah, they're still hitting the staff soldier behind, might not have any help, but still have to worry about it. And I guess what better time to get out while the guy behind is not a big threat as well. Oh, so you'd think there was another one. Yeah, Blank gets the job done that Aaron you couldn't quite have the time for in the end. And this is all they were asking for. Big advantage last once again, setting them up for a beautiful last push. Because every time they had add-on last, it worked immediately.
Yeah, Irontree there, like obviously running with the pickaxe out into lower, it just like baits the entire combo of Alien Workshop into lower, and then you can just call to Blank. Look, they're all leaving from lower right now. Blank does a nice little jump, speed shot through lobby, lands straight in on the face of Lucky, and gets a really, really important force. And yeah, 50% Uber and Lucky, and all players ready to go on the red side, so it looks like walking in time again. Can they get their third Uberrad conversion onto last? We'll see. Looks like Shutter is the way to go once more. It was working for them before. See if it works again. Can I get quite a bit of cap time before the stick's dead? Lots of cap time. No one's there to block in time. Nobody can stop the cap as Phoenix able to just get it unscathed. And yeah, 3-0 up. Not a great deal of time left. It's looking very, very good for Nandem.
Yeah, looking at the map, it might betray them here a little bit. Looks like Nandem did their homework for Snakewater just as much as Alien Workshop did, if not more so, of the scoreline as it is right now. Not much time for the comeback, 8 minutes. For at least 3 rounds to at least clutch this into overtime. It's making this rather difficult here. They need a big mid, and they were close to one last time. They're just gonna convert of the advantages they actually have this time around.
Yeah, it's technically possible, but getting into the sort of territories where it gets really, really hard. You're just going to jump straight onto Irontree, who just about stays alive over in Saw, and everyone else nearly Workshop side trying to throw themselves in as best as they can. But actually, it's going to go down to a 3v3 while P gets separated from the medic out in lower. Going to be forced out by Irontree. Really nice work from Nandem there, just cutting them apart, taking the space as best as they can, and Irontree actually wants even more, going to try and jump up onto the scout. Wild Peak going to nearly get the damage to secure it, and actually, they're coming back in. Alien Workshop want more of this, going to see if they can survive longer. Actually, big get rid of the drop from Irontree, huge plays, and that is going to knock so much time off this game for the Alien Workshop side. What a pick.
But look, they're getting the midpoint. Surely this will be worth it, right?
Yeah, it's such a nice bomb there at the end, like, because there's no distraction at all, right? It has to just be like a perfect time. Going from hides for a second, loads the rockets, then catches them completely off guard, and 2 really, really nice rockets there onto Lucky to finish off that mid. And now they're going to walk in for free. There's a couple of traps to negotiate, maybe perhaps some more bombs from these Alien Workshop soldiers, but mid going to be taken for free, and it's a case of what else, because they're walking in Saw as well. They're going to be looking for second as well off this.
Yeah, Nandem now in prime position to just make this an unwinnable game if it's not already shaping up to be bombed once again. They barely even need the Lucky Killers point. They still have advantage. They're chasing noob advantage they don't need. They just want to see people die. Well, admittedly, they've been pretty good at that so far. It's not going to get the best results now, maybe.
If Wild Piggy wins the fight against Yuji, it could be pretty big. On the second, actually wins it out. Second point's not getting capped. Wild Piggy has actually maybe saved this completely. Runs all the way behind, denies the cap, and then the push is all for nothing. And in this time, Lucky has been able to get this Uber charge up and ready, but there's so little time left. They have to push out the Alien Workshop, and they're going to try and do it straight away. Uber charge used across the bridge, going to have to flash basically everyone through that tight little choke point as Ubers come out on either side, but it's so hard coming out of last, even in these even Uber scenarios when you're up players, and yeah, they're going to have to back it up, and I don't want to say too soon, maybe game. Actually, Killing Unforgiven. That's something to go with, but there's so many players running in. This could be round number 4.
Yeah, they don't need a medic anymore at this point as well. They're not last, outnumbering already. It's all the trading for match. Matters very little. They're putting themselves on a match point here. One more, and we won't even have to be here for 5 more minutes. Nandem will just take this home.
Yeah, what a performance over on the Nandem side. It was a bit of a scrappy last fight there, I guess, when you get to these sort of late game scenarios where certain teams like, right, you need so many rounds in so many minutes, you have to start taking those really big risks, you have to start pushing on things you're not particularly comfortable doing, but you know you have to because of the time situation. And yeah, it doesn't work out for Alien Workshop, but it's not through lack of trying. As yeah, we're going into 5 minutes left, 4 rounds. We're basically into the realms of possibility, like you just said. But we're still going to try the Wailing Workshop. Still going to battle in. It's all good. All good practice. All good for the logs. As From's coming in onto the point, Justy's going to do a lot of damage, but not going to secure any frags. As another midpoint goes the way of Nandem, and another map looks like it'll be going their way as well.
Yeah, to put them further through into winners and one step closer to the eventual goal. You're making it to Premiership as well. We'll have to wait to see what happens on the other side of the bracket, of course, to see who might be in either winners or losers on that side as well. But as it stands, Wailing Workshop with a Herculean task to try and get anything out of this one, but giving it an honest attempt.
Yeah, getting a lot of frags onto lower. Looks like Blank going to be taken down as well, and Cap coming up, Lucky going down means there's not going to be any advantage to speak of once they come through. But I think there's a couple of forward spots. Maybe they just run it through dry. There's 4 minutes left. Like, you may as well go for something. It's huge on Sniper. Maybe could be a Thorn, but yeah, this is all but over.
A little bit of sniping here as well, just to see what we can get out of it, and immediately the body shot on Piggy is what you'd like to see here as well. Any momentum they had, certainly without Uber advantage, already pretty grim, but with players down as well.
On the medic as well.
Oh no, not like this. Don't walk that lucky, not like this, not now. I guess when not rather than now, right? They have to make a move here sooner or later.
Yeah, actually, standing in again, Sneaky take it down with body shots as well, out from Hughie, but yeah, you can sort of have some fun in this time, sort of relax a little bit before the game's over, and yeah, Hughie's just having fun with it, peeking in even deeper. Unforgiven goes down in the midst of the spam over in the saw, and Justy getting a really awkward fight there with Blank, both taking so weak. Blank wins it out of 4 HP. They're sort of chest bumping each other and firing rockets, but they were both on 300 HP beforehand, so it lasts a little bit longer than it should. At least you'd expect so. Yeah, it'd be good for Wailing Workshop for their confidence if they can get around on the board regardless. And they do have a big advantage, and they are going to be capping up second point as well. So this is as good a time as any to get around as a good an opportunity as they've had. I mean, as they've had one Uber ad before, didn't make it work, but they're going to go in again one more. 2 minutes left. Not going to change anything in terms of the outcome of the map, but could be good for the scoreboard at least.
Can't get last rounds now than they did in past games against these guys, right? Got to get one on the board for that here, at least, to see if at least something can work on last, where they previously had such a good attempt, right? Bomb already early on, pretty much just takes Justy out already here, but maybe you can trade one out. Tavi going deep already here, big damage on the left side. Rest of the team pretty slow to clean up here as well. 3 for 2 right now, as point is very much not a big concern here. Look out of spawn, immediately just put in front of the combo that they're just not looking at him though on the right side, and that's just gonna completely get them blindsided by the Demo Man having the easy time of lights hitting all the stickies and pipes. Take them out completely. Nandem are not going to be losing around tonight.
Yeah, and again, that's 2 golden opportunities for rounds that have come through for Wailing Workshop, right? 2 full Uber ads coming into last, and again, both times they've just been losing the fights over on that truck. They've not been getting the damage they've needed, and again, they're sort of bleeding out a couple of players. Some people thinking they want to go for cap time, some people thinking they want to just heal up and maybe take a re-aggression, but they're slightly discoordinated, and I guess losing 4 rounds as well is not exactly like they've been punished directly because of that, but again, if you're going to be winning these games, you've got to be converting these last points. You get points in TF2 for capping the last point, and you're going to have to, if you want to win games, you're going to have to do it at some point, so...
Maybe this is the one, right? I mean, well, everyone will spawn probably, but that's besides the point. They're still trying. Put it up.
You may as well. There's a heavy that's quite a long way away from the points. If they can get cap time quick, this could be it. No, Arentry jumping in, going to deny for quite some time. Getting knocked off eventually. No cap time. Just going to be there. Tavi gets the consolation round.
Come back. Eventually. Come back. Any believers? This may be the one, chat. They have a minute left to overcome this 3-round deficit.
Oh, it is. That's their first round this series, right?
Yes, surprisingly, before close the first map was.
Yeah, it was 2. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it should be their only round this series either. Like, because even in this map, they've had chances, right, to get on the board, just not quite managed it. There's yet 45 seconds on the clock. This will almost certainly be ending at 4-1. I believe, actually, probably certainly, even if everyone stacked every point and one team just decided to kill bind. But looks like people are teleporting a little bit more again. No, people are disconnecting as well. They know it's over. And,
what does it matter now if it's over? But it functions at the end of the game.
Yeah, I think the server's like the server was just hanging on to try and get past the part of the game.
Alright, we're done here. Get out of here. Someone else beats this machine now.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, it's fine. New server question
Time
mark
to
in the
go.
chat as well. With 12 seconds left. But there we have it. Nandem going to be jumping up 2-0 as they will be going up into the upper bracket. So there's, when we talk about the format for these qualifiers, it's there's 4 teams going in, 2 spots in the Premiership division for next season up for grabs. We're doing double elimination. So the winners of each game play the winners. Winner of that one goes through. Losers play each other. Loser that's out, and then the other 2 teams play each other in that decider. So plenty of action in the qualifiers this week. It's going to be like half a season's worth of games for some of these teams before the season's even started.
Yeah, well, if they want to be in Prem, they got to be able to play against teams that good or better anyway, right? So, got to get the practice out of the way early here. I think the next game will be tomorrow already, if memory serves correctly.
I think ETF2L was originally, like, on the match page, it was saying Thursday, but
It says Tuesday now, so
the match,
assume that's correct.
Yeah, the match deadline is tomorrow, so...
I think they realized that.
Okay. But yeah, we're going to have Plumcorp Records and Placeholder going head-to-head. Or a winner of that will face Nandem for a chance to go through into Prem, to the prestige of the top division. The rest of them will be sent down into the dark depths of Div 1.
Div 1 hell, one more season. Everyone wants to escape it, but not everyone can. So this season, 2 teams will have to go home where they came from.
Yep.
We'll find out soon who it will be. We'll catch you for more gaming then, I guess.
Maybe tomorrow, TM?
Probably tomorrow.
Probably tomorrow.
The real question is when any games after that happening.
Oh, I've got no idea. Because some teams are going to have to play 3 games, but the ones that like win then lose then win, or like lose then win, or whatever, like they're going to have to play 3 games at some point. So before the start of the season. But anyway, yeah, I hope it's been a good one. We've already run quite late, even with it only been 2 maps. But yeah, hope we'll had a good time. We'll sign it off here.